Hi, welcome to the Rex Andrews Show. Glad to have you here. If it's a return listener, we're glad you're back. And if you're brand new, glad you found us. Looking for a great show today, a little bit of information I think you'll enjoy, a little bit of perspective. But first, let's talk about a couple of house cleaning items. Number one, if you're on social media, please subscribe to the show. We are out there in syndication on just about everywhere you can find, and all the social media platforms, and about 20 podcast distributions. So excited to have you here. We have a great sponsor that I want to tell you about. It's Wealth Management Group. At Wealth Management Group, they are financial planners, and they help you with retirement programs, and they really work with you to get your retirement put together so you can meet your financial goals. Now, these are not guys that just sell things. They really do sit down and work with you. So their website is wealthmanagement.estate. That's wealthmanagement.estate. So today, it's somewhat of a rant, and it's kind of interesting when we look at human behavior. And I have this thought that's been rattling around in my head about groupthink. Now, it's really easy in this world today, because we live in such a comfortable world, that we surround ourselves with people in sort of an echo chamber, in our own little bubble. And if you go on social media, this is really reinforced because the algorithms for the major social media platforms are designed to keep you on their sites. Well, why is that? Because their business model is to sell ads. And those ads, they need to be able to sell to advertisers, and they can say, hey, this is how many eyeballs they have. So they want you to have push notifications turned on. They want you to be on their sites as much as possible. So when you're scrolling through their timelines or looking at their videos, you're going to hopefully catch one of those and go look at those offers. And that's what those internet marketing companies are doing, which I know a lot about because that's one of my businesses. So we have this echo chamber that they create. Now, it's really interesting when you start to look at hot topics. And one that I follow here is the COVID-19, the pandemic. Now, I'm in Colorado, and we have a blue state type governor, very, very left, and I don't agree with most of his policies, but I do shadow and review and read his posts on social media. Sometimes it's entertainment just to sort of get into verbal arguments with people, and not that you'd ever win or change people's minds. But it's kind of a sport for me. I was a debater as a young man in high school and college, so I kind of like to do that. The wit in me comes out. So yes, I have to admit I'm a little bit strange when it comes to that. Then the other observation that I've seen is in looking in Governor Polis's Facebook posts and his group, it's really easy to see that most of the people in his group, and this would fit for any group out there on an internet channel, any politics, they're mostly people that have one shared groupthink. Their opinion is formed by the people that they follow. So it's very common to see in that thread people who are totally freaked out about COVID-19. They're basically the type of people you see driving down the street with their mask on in an enclosed car, the people who don't want to go back to work because of their fear. They're worried about can they work in an environment where other people might give them germs and that type of stuff. So, and the other one that cracks me up is the school teachers. They're not a risk group per se, in total. And they're all worried about, well, I've got to have the vaccine because I've got to go back to work. And my level of fear is and risk is higher than yours. But the symptomatic issue here is the groupthink. Where do they get their information? How is their opinion formed? Well, it's pretty simple. They go on social media. They're basically folded into a bubble. They are in an echo chamber where the same type of stuff, and the more that you click on or watch, then then the algorithms in social media are going to serve you up the same thing. Why? Because they want you to spend more time. So recently, a little bit of back and forth banter with someone on his site regarding the vaccine. It really came crystal clear to me that these people, and I'm guilty of it too, go nowhere outside their groupthink. So their opinions are all based on others. Well, the problem with that is we are formulating our opinions and our beliefs based on other people's perspectives. So our governor is not a person who's worked labor. He's never had a job where he might get injured at work and hurt or even killed. Excuse me. We live in this bubble where people are protected. They don't really have risk. And so the COVID-19 has brought this mortality right to face. Well, he's kind of a fraidy cat, or Chicken Little, whatever you want to call him. Totally risk adverse. So his people, excuse me, a little bit of cough today. His followers, their groupthink is in that same organization. Well, we see this in the media. We see it everywhere. So the question I have for everyone to stop and ask and just sort of say, whoa, wait a minute. Who is in your groupthink? Do you go back to the same media sites all the time or channels? Do you follow the same people that give you information? Is your groupthink very, very contained in a bubble? Now, most groupthink isn't just social media. Most groupthinks are where we are in communication with people. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, that's just human behavior. But if we really want the truth and we really want to be objective about things, we need to learn to step outside that groupthink and look at different perspectives. So that's why I go to Polis. I mean, I don't agree with virtually everything that he's about, than his policies, but I go look and I see. Whenever he does a press conference about the updates for COVID here in the state of Colorado, rather than have it filtered for me, I go and watch his press conferences or watch the recordings of them because I want to see exactly his perspective. So, yes, I tend to be a libertarian type view, a little more on the conservative side, a little more on traditional values and the value of family and all that good stuff. And that's not bad. That's just who I am. So I try to step out and look at other perspectives so I can draw conclusions that I think are sane. You know, it's all about common sense to me. So think about it today. Excuse me. As you go about your day, ask yourself, who is in my groupthink? Until next time, make it a great day.